Hello and welcome back. Today's video is sponsored by HIKMICRO, a thermal imaging equipment and solutions provider. I will be unboxing and taking a look at one of their products today, the B1L handheld infrared camera. So if you're curious about that and much more, then keep watching. Now, infrared imaging has been around for quite some time now, but up until fairly recently, the products were prohibitively expensive. I mean, even very small resolution cameras used to cost a fortune. But with recent advancements in the technology, as well as multiple manufacturers getting into this market, the price of such devices has become more and more accessible. And this is where HIKMICRO comes into play. It's a newer company that provides such imaging solutions for individuals and commercial and industrial users. Today I will be reviewing a camera from HIKMICRO's B series, so the B1L. Now this is a handheld infrared camera that has an infrared resolution of 160 by 120 pixels, and other than this it also has some really interesting features. So on the one side, its thermal sensitivity, or noise equivalent temperature difference, is below 40 millikelvin, and the camera also has quite a large refresh rate, so its image frequency is 25 Hz. So these two parameters should ensure quite a high image quality. Now, even if you find cameras with the same pixel count, usually these two parameters will not be as good in the same price range. So these two things will be quite interesting to check out. So let's start out with checking out what comes in the box. So we get quite a large and sturdy box, so this is quite well made. And if we have a look, see what's inside of it, so without breaking it of course. So we see a bit of packaging in here, then some paperwork. So first of all we have our quick starter guide, so the manual, and we also get a calibration certificate. So all of these units seem to be individually tested and calibrated. And other than this, well, we get this little white box. So let's just see what's inside of this thing. So we get a USB-C cable, so this is used to both charge and retrieve data from the device. And we also get a bag of other little bags. So this is the power charger, the power adapter, so it's outputting a USB, 5 volts. And we also get a bunch of these adapters. So depending on the country in which you are in, one of these adapters will most likely work for you. So for me it will be this one. Simply clip it on, USB goes in, and I'm ready to charge the device. And finally we get to the business end. So this is the B1L camera, and we'll be checking this out in just a moment. But before that, if we have a look in the quick starter guide, so we can see it comes in various languages. So I guess this is the European version, so English, French, German, and so on. And well, you get Hungarian, and would you look at that, you have Romanian. Ghid de pornire rapidă a camerei termografice portabile. Now, more information of course can be found on the manufacturer's website. So here on their product page you have your B series user manual. And this manual goes into the various functions that the product offers. So here you will find far more details about it. So it's quite a solid device, it looks quite well built. We can turn it on using this button. And we can see just how quickly it started up, so you can perform quick temperature measurements with it. We can also see that it has a large 3.2-inch color display. And at the moment you can't see anything because it has quite a nice feature. Here on the front, the camera is protected by this cover. So you can use this shutter to protect the lens when you're not using the camera. And now the camera is working. So periodically it will perform a self-calibration, but other than that you should be able to see just how quickly it responds and, well, it works. So hopefully the camera will focus where it should. Anyway, we'll be looking at its imaging properties in just a moment. Now, other than this, here on the front, you can also see it has this small LED. So this is an LED work light. We can quickly turn it on, so it can blind you. It's good for that, but it's especially good if you want to use the camera in an environment where you don't have a lot of light. So maybe you want to look in the basement at your heat pipes or something. So this is quite a nice feature. But now let's try looking at some circuits and other hot stuff. Now you can use this thing to take still photos, so by pressing the trigger button. And for that, I have here the backside of a laptop, and we can see that the camera can see it quite nicely, so we can zoom in quite a lot, and we can very well see the tiny little components and things. So by pressing the trigger button, we can save the image. So let's just do one more where it's all zoomed out. But you can also take advantage of the camera's Wi-Fi connectivity feature. So in its menu, you can either connect to a Wi-Fi network or create a hotspot from the camera itself, and using a tablet connect to this Wi-Fi network. And you also have the HIKMICRO viewer software. So this is a program that you can install on a tablet or a smartphone. And with this you can connect to your device, and you can wirelessly see what's on the screen. So right now, if we start looking at our circuit again, we can see the image being streamed onto the tablet. And now from the tablet, we can take pictures right here, or we can take a video. So we can perform video recordings of what the screen is seeing using the tablet. Okay. Now another way you can see the screen of the device without using the device is by connecting it to a computer using the provided USB cable. So in its menu, if we select the cast screen option, we can view the camera as a webcam. So using some generic software like this spot player software, and it will connect to the device. And now we can see the live stream coming from the camera. So you can see that the image is clean. You get your fast image frequency, the 25 Hz, so it has quite a good refresh rate. You can see the details far better on the large screen. And of course, using this program, you can also record the video. So you can take recordings of whatever you're looking at over extended periods of time to later reanalyze. Now, if you just want to monitor a device for extended periods of time, you can. The B1L has an 8-hour-long battery life. So part of the weight of the device comes from the battery that's inside of it. But that's a good thing. It means that you don't have to continuously keep recharging it. And it also comes with this tripod fixture mount thingy. So you can mount it into a fixed point. You don't have to constantly keep it in your hand. And to let you know if something happens, it also has a temperature alarm feature. So this can be set to trigger on a detected high or low temperature. Now, half the value of any infrared product comes in the supporting and post-processing software. So other than the HIKMICRO viewer, we also get the HIKMICRO analyzer software. So you can get this from the manufacturer's website, so you can simply download it and you can install it and try it out without buying any product. So it comes with some default images, but this is a software into which you can import the pictures that you've downloaded from your camera and then perform post-processing on. So if I now open one of the photos that I've previously taken, so here we can see the full resolution image. So even though the camera is only 160 by 120 pixels, the image looks very good. And now we can start to modify it. So first of all, we can play around with the color palette. So maybe like this one a bit more. Then we can adjust the temperature range of interest, so maybe we don't really care about the very small temperatures, we just want to look at the really high areas in a bit more detail. So to get all of these points sticking out, so if I move my cursor over it, we can clearly see the temperature. Then of course we can add measurement points, so we can add individual points. We can also add various areas, so for example, we want to look in this particular area, or we can add polygons or other shapes, of course. And then we have some settings. So first of all, our global measurement parameters. So what was the environment's temperature? So this was about 21. Humidity, it was about 40. So these parameters are used in calculating the final temperatures. Now our global emissivity, we can leave it at 97. Distance, let's say it's 0.3. Again, the reflected temperature, 21. And now, normally, with this sort of software, you would be getting your various measurement points, and the minimum, maximum, maybe the average area over them. So for example, for this rectangle, we get our temperature distribution, and we'll see exactly what the minimum, maximum, and average temperature is. But one of the really nice things about this particular software is that we can select the various measurement points, and we can edit the parameters for this specific point. So for example, even though the global emissivity was 97, we can say that for this specific point, we only have an emissivity of only 0.8. And well, everything else should be the same. So this is quite an important feature, because on a board like this, where you have different surfaces with different emissivities, you would either have to make multiple measurements where you just change the global emissivity, but like this, you can set very specific emissivities for each of the measurement points, and then you should get the most accurate temperature in this way. So let's just change this thing also. So let's say here we have only 60. So these are just some random numbers. Anyway, once we're done, to extract the information from the image, so on one side we can save it, so export it as a nice JPEG or something, but we can also generate a report, so a proper 1 or 2 page report. We have 2 templates to choose from, so we can just give it a name, select file type, report title, report author, logo, wait for it a minute. So we have our title page, we have the image that we previously analyzed. So capture time, this was done in the future of course, so I forgot to set the time and date. So what was the device on which it was tested? So our global high, low, and center temperatures, then our various measurement points, the area measurement, and finally we get a table with all the emissivities and temperatures and so on. So this is quite a nice way to post-process and later save what you've measured. In the end, the B1L is quite a good product. It's very easy to use, it's very responsive, and I look forward to using it in the future. So, hope you got some useful information out of this. Leave your thoughts in the comments, thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.